Hello everyone, my name is Roger Arnold and today I'm going to talk about my book which is called The Learning Curve. The Learning Curve. It's a very simple word, but the reason for me to give this title for my book is because we learn through every phase. We start learning from the time we were born to the time we end our lives. So every phase changes according to that. So it's like a curve, so it's like a change. The way we are in kindergarten, we are not the same in class 1. Why? Because we keep on changing, we keep on evolving. So we move from class 1 to class 2 and so on, and then we come to our stage where we start to improve ourselves gradually from grade 6 to 7 to 8, and eventually we go towards O-levels. Now this book, The Learning Curve, as I've told you, is basically meaning focusing on different aspects like essays and directed writing. Now the reason for directed writing and essays is because students tend to suffer a lot while they write. They don't know how to begin, or they don't know how to continue their essay, whether it's their essay or it's a letter or it's a speech and so on. Now this learning curve focuses on a very important, you can say, statement, which is an appropriate understanding of a student allows an assured result. This phase basically, or phrase, basically is focusing on the views or the ideas about why it is important for a student. And then it goes towards, if you look at the middle, you see a guide to essays and directed writing. Now let's go into the book and then we will understand more about what it actually has. So we have overall 200 topics, which is 100 based on essays and the other 100 based on directed writing topics. Now this 100, the first 80 is all about introductions to essays. Why introduction, someone may ask? Well, introductions because we need to know how to start an essay. And normally students don't know how to start an essay properly. They don't know what to write. So we have various topics, 80 different topics. Some are very simple, some are very complicated, and some may be out of the ordinary. So we have topics like a lesson learned in life, for example, childhood, danger with a stranger. We have Manners Reveal Character, we have My New Start, we have Human Existence on Mars, and so on. Then we move towards the full-length essays, which are a total of 20. Now these full-length essays, they are normally based on directed writing, descriptive, discursive, and argumentative, and also narrative. So discursive and descriptive, they are two different. Why? Because descriptive is more about describing a situation, and discursive is neither for nor against the topic. It talks about both sides. When we go to argumentative, it's more like a debate. Either we say for or against. So everything is being explained. As you go through this book, you will understand more about it. So that is the idea about the full-length essays, which are like 20 topics. So we have topics like A Gloomy Day, The Lost Soul, Never Give Up. We also have things like Unforgettable Moments. We have The Passion of Success. Is social networking a problem for our society? Discuss. This is a discursive. And we also have, we all need work experience in order to make our lives fruitful. How far do you agree with this statement? So this serves as an argumentative essay. So as we go through this book, we will know more about it. And then we have the directed writing topics, which is basically on formal, informal letters, report, article, speech, leaflet, and account. Formal letters is not very easy to start, or it's not very easy to continue. So we need to know the different tricks and traits of these topics. So it normally is focusing on a CEO or a managing director. For the informal, it's more about friends and family or any relatives. And for the speech, it's about talk. It's not a live talk, but we're showing it as a live talk, but it's more like in a written format. So it has to have some sense of humor, some kind of ideas. So we have these. So the 60 topics are based on these. So formal letter, informal letter, and speech, 20 of each. The reason for these is because we need to understand these more, since we are the ones receiving these kind of topics often. So we mostly have things like formal, informal, letters, or speech. The other 4 topics are given in tens, as in 10 of each, like report, article, leaflet, and account. These are of less importance because we don't normally get these topics. But even if we do get it, we can easily master them since we have the topics here. So apart from all these topics, if we go through more, then we will see there's a kind of a basic idea about the essay part. Like we have the introductions to essays, why it is important. We have narrative, we have descriptive, we have discursive, and we have argumentative essays. Then we follow up with the others. But before I talk about the other ones, as in the direct writing ones, we have to be sure we understand that the essays have to be a minimum of 400 words. And we have a certain criteria, like introduction, then we have the body parts, as in 3 paragraphs or 4 paragraphs, and then we move towards the conclusion. So, as we go forward, we'll see all these topics here, and then we go through the directed writing topics right after this. So we see the directed writing topics. So we have an idea, a very short idea about what each directed writing topic is. Like we have formal, we have informal letter, we have speech, report, article, account, and leaflet. And to make it more easier for the students, this book is providing the formats of directed writing. So we have a formal letter format, we have an informal letter format, we have a speech, we also have a report, article, leaflet, and account. So these are the directed writing topics. We have their formats also. So everything is clearly mentioned in this book. So if you want to get or have a better idea of what this book has, it's very easy to purchase it, and at the moment is being given in a 50% discount. So the original price of this book is actually 1,000 taka, but since we're trying to promote this book, or the main idea is actually reaching more audience or reaching more people, and we want more people to actually read this book so that it can help them to improve their grades in O-levels, even for them to improve their grades in grades 6, 7, and 8, and it will also help them for A-levels. What's more about this book is that it's not only helpful for students, it's also helpful for elderly people, because there are a lot of people who don't know how to write, for example, a formal letter. If they're writing to their director or they're writing to their manager, they don't know what to write. So it's also very helpful for a common man or a common person, generalized people, or people who don't have much work to do, for example. They can easily follow this book and they will have proper ideas. Now the thing is, this book is just a guide, it just gives an idea. So people's perspectives keep on changing. So it's not always, it doesn't always have to be that whatever is written in this book, it has to be followed. It's just like a guide. So it provides a good guide to the people for them to understand what they need to do and how they need to change themselves. So now, if you look at this book towards the end part of the book, you will see there is another quotation which is actually made by me. So the main idea for this quotation, let's go through the words and you'll understand what it is about. Imagining the unimaginable requires immense understanding of an image that is unbelievably believable. Sounds very difficult, but actually it's very simple. How is it simple? Because first we're talking about imagining. We have to imagine, understand. Imagining the unimaginable. So the more we can understand about something that is not possible to imagine, it's more easier for us to break down each criteria or each situation. So it requires immense understanding. Immense means a lot. We have to really understand each phase, each part, each point, or each moment of an image that is unbelievably believable. So as we go through the topics, or as we go through, in the beginning we'll feel like, what is this topic? Why is it so difficult? Why can't we understand it? But as we go through the topic, we will understand that actually this topic is meaningful, or the idea about this topic is very simple. So once we know about different ideas, or once we know how to expand or broaden our horizons, we'll be able to understand what this book has and what we need to do in order to improve ourselves. It's like once we read books or once we know about different things, we are actually exploring our sixth sense. So the sixth sense is, we call it normally a transcendental sense. So with the help of that sense, we are able to explore more than what we normally know or normally do. So that exploration of the sixth sense helps us to understand different criteria or different aspects, so we become more creative and we become more imaginative. So I hope this book serves as a very important purpose for everyone, and I hope they will actually appreciate this book as much as many other students do.